Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. For class 10 mathematics, we are here and today we will talk about exercise 1.3. You see that what is the question? The question is just to solve this equation. You very well know about the quadratic equations. Quadratic equation and how to solve the quadratic equations. You know that there are three methods to solve. How to solve the quadratic equation? If the examiner specified that you must have to solve the quadratic equation with that method. For example, he can ask you about that to solve the question according to factorization, so you must have to solve that question according to factorization. If the examiner asks you about to solve the question about quadratic formula, so you must have to apply quadratic formula here. But if he just simply asks you about just to solve it, it is up to you only that whether you are going to apply quadratic formula, you are going to apply factorization, or you are going to apply the completing square method. It's just up to you. But about this equation, is this the quadratic equation? Think about, is this the quadratic equation? This is not the quadratic equation, because the quadratic equation, for quadratic equation, the variable maximum power is 2, but the variable maximum power here is 4. We can solve it, but we are not going to solve just like the quadratic equation here. One thing more, in this equation, the variable's maximum power is 4. So this equation contains 4 roots. So first we have to convert this equation into the quadratic equation. For that purpose, we just have to let the small power, what is the small power here? X square or x raised power 4? The small power is x square. We just have to reduce it. Let y is equal to x square. And we just have to approach for x raised power 4 also. So for this purpose, squaring on both sides, apply square here and apply square also here. It will be y square is equal to x raised power 4. Now you can replace these values in this equation. You can write it, replace the values in equation. You can replace these values in the equation. For example, this is 2. After that, this is x raised power 4. But you can't write x raised power 4 here. You have to write what is x raised power 4? That is equal to y square. You have to write y square here, because we have already let this situation. We are going to convert this scenario into quadratic form. After that, it is minus 11, and after minus 11, it is going to multiply with x square. So we are not going to write x square here. We are going to write, instead of x square, that is equal to y, we are going to write y here. After that, it is 5 plus 5. Now, is this the quadratic equation? Yes, it is quadratic equation, but we are using y variable. So now think that this is the question. Recently, we just have to think that this is the question, this is not the question. We are simply just solving this equation. So how we can solve this equation? Whether you can apply quadratic formula here, whether you can apply factorization, whether you can solve it through completing square method, as it is up to you. If there is anything happen according to the factorization, that is very simple. You can just factorize it. Like 2 5s are 10. So 2y square, just for the midterm breaking, you can midterm break it, that this is minus 11. You can write it as minus 10y minus 1y plus 5 is equal to 0. Just because of minus 10 and minus 1. After going to multiply this, it must be plus 10 and 2 multiplied by 5, that is also plus 10. And minus 10 and minus 1, it is minus 11, this is minus 11. So now, after taking common 2y, so it is y minus 5. What is common here? Nothing but minus 1. So you have to change the signs. This y is negative, y is positive y. This positive 5 is negative 5. If both are same, you just have to write it once, and 2y minus 1 is equal to 0. And again, solution is just like the previous exercises, that y minus 5 is equal to 0, and 2y minus 1, it is also is equal to 0. So value of y is equal to 5, and from here 2y is equal to 1, so y is equal to 2 is multiplying and 2 is divide here. So the solution through y variable is y is equal to 5 and y is equal to 1 over 2. But this is not the solution, because in the start of the question we have variable x, but at the end of question we have variable y. This variable y is just because we have let this x square into y. Now convert this scenario into the original one. Just replace y with its original value. Instead of y, you have to write what? Y is equal to x square. So x square is equal to 5, and instead of y, you again have to write x square is equal to 1 over 2. But this is x square. We have to find the value of x. So for that purpose, applying square root on both sides. Apply square root here and apply square root here. So you must have to approach towards the value of x. X square and 5 and x square and 1 over 2. This square is cancelled with this square root, and for this you know that positive negative square root 5. Why this is positive negative? You know it very well from your previous lectures, and also here square is going to cancel with this square root, and this is positive negative. What is the square root of 1? You know that square root of 1 is 1. So I'm not going to write square root 1 because I know that square root of 1 is 1, so I'm writing it 1, but square root 2 is 2. You see that there are 4 roots here just because of this power is 4. So your solution set is negative square root 5, positive square root 5, negative 1 over square root 2, and positive 1 over square root 2. These are 4 roots of this equation. I hope you understand it very well. After that, question number 2, again the same thing. The same thing is going to happen here, but in this scenario, you see that this is not like resemblance with quadratic equation, but for quadratic equation, you need 0 on the right hand side. There is not 0 on the right hand side, so you just have to push these things towards left hand side. This 9x square is negative 9x square. This negative 4 is positive 4. But this is not the quadratic equation, so we just have to convert it in the quadratic equation. For that purpose, the small power is going to be hold for let y is equal to x square. Now we just have to approach towards x raised power 4. So squaring on both sides, y square is equal to x square, that is x raised power 4. Now apply all the conditions in this question. the 2x raised power 4. Instead of x raised power 4, you have to write y square minus 9 x square. Instead of x square, you have to write y. After that, plus 4 is equal to 0. Is this the quadratic equation? Yes, this is the quadratic equation. So you can solve it. 2 4s are 8, or just you have to midterm break it. 2y square like minus 8y minus 1y plus 4 is equal to 0. Minus 8 into minus 1, that is plus 8. So what is the common? 2y. So y minus 4. And what is common here? Minus 1. So y minus 4 is equal to 0. So if both are same, then y minus 4 and 2y minus 1 is equal to 0. So separate it. Y minus 4 is equal to 0 and 2y minus 1 is equal to 0. Again, the value of y from here is 4, and from here is, after arranging, it is y is equal to 1 over 2. But we are not going to find the value of y. We just have to find the value of x. And x contains 4 roots. So how? Replace y is equal to x square, because y was originally x square. So instead of y, I'm going to write x square is equal to 4. Instead of y, I'm going to write x square is equal to 1 over 2. Think that why we are doing these things, just to convert in the quadratic form and to solve. Just we have to take the help of this method. We can solve it, and after that, in original situation, we can get the original solution. So apply square root. Just I want to find the value of x. Apply square root on both sides. Also this. The square is going to cancel with this square root, so x is equal to 4 square root is, yes, plus minus is must. So 4 square root is 2. So x is equal to 1 square root 2 is 1 and square root 2 is 2. So it has 4 roots, that is 2, negative 2, 1 over under root 2 and negative 1 over under root 2. This was question number 2. After that, question number 3. These all questions methodology is totally same. Question number 4 is x raised power 2 by 3 plus 54 is equal to 15 x raised power 1 by 3. See that there is a powers difference here, but you don't have to worry about it. Just convert it just in the form of quadratic equation, because you need 0 on the right hand side. So x raised power 2 by 3 minus 15 x raised power 1 by 3 plus 54 is equal to 0. Basically, it is not the quadratic equation. So from the previous question, we just have to convert it in the quadratic equation. So what is the smaller power here? X raised power 2 over 3 or x raised power 1 over 3? Yes, it is x raised power 1 over 3. So let y is equal to x raised power 1 over 3. And after that, we just also need this one. Squaring on both sides. After applying square here and here, it must be 2 is going to multiply with numerator, so x raised power 2 by 3. Just replace these values with this one. So it becomes x raised power 2 over 3. Instead of x raised power 2 of 3, I'm writing it y square here. Minus 15 x raised power 1 over 3. I'm going to write y instead of x raised power 1 over 3. After that, it is 54 is equal to 0. Now this is quadratic equation. Is there factorization possible here? If so, then you can apply it. Just 1 is multiplied with this 54. So apply it now, like 2 2s are 4, 2 7s are 14, 3 9s are 3 3s are 3 1s are. And is there any pair making possible? -9 and -6. Yes, it is going to be possible. -9 and -6, that is making the pair -9y -6y plus 54 is equal to 0. So what is common here? It is y -9, and what is common here? It is -6. Again it is y -9 is equal to 0. These are same. So y -9 and y -6 is equal to 0. So there is y -9 is equal to 0 and y -6 is equal to 0. Same is the thing going to happen. Y is equal to 9 and y is equal to 6. But we just have to find the value of x, not we have to find the value of y. For that purpose, replace y with its original value. So instead of y, I am writing x is equal to x raised power 1 over 3 is equal to 9, and x raised power 1 over 3 is equal to 6. Is this the answer? No. This is the value x raised power 1 over 3. But I need the value of x. To find the value x raised power 1 over 3, I have to find the value of x raised power 1. How I can abolish this 1 over 3? By applying the power 3 on all sides. Apply power 3 on both sides. Just apply power 3 in it. Also apply power 3 in it, and same the thing is here. Now what is going to happen? This 3 is going to cancel with this 3, this 3 is going to cancel with this 3. So this is only x. So 9 cube. What is the cube of 9? You can just calculate it, simplify it from your calculator. That is 9 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 9, that is 729. And this is x cube, that is 216. So its solution is both these values. But in this question, there are only 2 roots because it is in the fraction form. This is not x raised power 4. So it do not contains it not contains 4 or 3 roots. After that, question number 4 and then question number 5. 3x raised power minus 2 plus 5 is equal to 8x raised power minus 1. First you have to convert it in the form of quadratic equation. 3x raised power minus 2 and minus at 8x raised power minus 1 plus 5 is equal to 0. Now let y is equal to, the smaller power is here x raised power minus 1, and we just have to approach this one squaring on both sides. That is y square is equal to x raised power minus 1 square, mean that minus 1 multiplied by 2, that is x raised power minus 2. Now replace these values with this one, and same is the thing going to happen. 3 after that x raised power minus 2, you have to write, instead of x raised power minus 2, you have to write it y square. Think that this is not the quadratic equation because these powers are negative. So minus 8 x raised power minus 1, you can write y here, and plus 5 is equal to 0. This was your quadratic equation. You can apply quadratic formula here because a value is 3 and b value is minus 8 and c value is positive 5. You can apply quadratic formula. But if you can do factorization, it is well and good. Like 3 5s are 15, minus 3y minus 5y plus 5 is equal to 0. And what is common here? It is 3y common, so y minus 1. What is common? Minus 5, so y minus 1 is equal to 0. So it is same. What is the value of y here? y minus 1 is equal to 0, 3y minus 5 is equal to 0. Value of y is 1 here, and value of y is equal to 5 over 3 here. But we just have to find the value of x. See that what was y? Y was x raised to power minus 1 is equal to 1. And what was here? Y x raised to power minus 1 is equal to 5 by 3. X raised power minus 1 mean that 1 over x is equal to 1. You know from class 9 that if we want to if we want to change the sign of the power, we can just put it in the denominator or convert it towards the numerator. This thing must be 1 over x is equal to 5 by 3. Whether you can write 1 over x, whether you can write x inverse, because after moving towards numerator, it must be x raised power minus 1. So x here and 1 here, or you can write it as x is equal to x, after revert it x over 1, or you can multiply it x with 1, so 1 is equal to x, mean that the value of x is equal to 1. For this purpose, after converting this was 1 over x for 5 over 3, and after reverting this, x over 1 is equal to 3 over 5. This thing is also reversed. So x over 1 or not x over 1, that is x is equal to 5 by 3. This was value of x. And after that, the question number 6. Question number 6 is 2x square plus 1 plus 3 over 2x square plus 1 is equal to 4. Now, there is some difference between this question and the previous question. You must have to think that what is similar here. This is 2x square plus 1 and this is again 2x square plus 1. So you just have to let y is equal to, for same thing, this is 2x square plus 1. And that's it. You don't need any square because it is not demanding the square here. So put in the equation. After putting this in the equation, instead of 2x square plus 1, you have to write y plus 3, and in denominator it is also 2x square plus 1. So instead of 2x square plus 1, you have to write y is equal to 4. Now this question becomes this question. Whether you can take LCM or whether you can multiply y on both sides. Multiply LCM. What is the LCM of all this equation? It is only y. Multiply y on both sides. After multiply this y with all the y, this y is all the equation. Y is going to multiply with this y, it must becomes y square. Y is going to multiply with this 3 over y, it becomes y is cancelled with the multiplied y, it becomes only 3. And after y is going to multiply with this 4, it must be 4y. So 4y is positive and negative here. Is this the quadratic equation? Yes, it is quadratic equation. You can solve it by factorization. Minus 3y minus 1y plus 3 is equal to 0. What is common here? Y minus 3. What is common here? Minus 1. Y minus 3 is equal to 0. So now this is same. Y minus 3 and y minus 1 is equal to 0. And after that, separate it. And here is the value of y. Now replace this y with y's original value. And what is 2x square plus 1 is equal to 3. And for this y, 2x square plus 1 is equal to 1. Now find the value of x from here. How it is? Plus 1 is minus here, 3 minus 1, So that is 2. 2 is going to divide here. So x square is equal to 1. Applying square root on both sides, you know that x is equal to plus minus 1. And for this thing, 1 minus 1, it is 0. So 2x square is equal to 0. 2 is going to divide here. X square is equal to 0 divided by 2, that is 0. After apply square root, so you know that 0 square root is also 0. So this is the answer. I hope you very well understand it. Just practice on and on. And the question number 7 and question number 8 is also similar. If you have any question regarding these questions, you can simply ask it. In the next lecture, we will complete this exercise. Thank you.